Hi, I'm Tony, and I'm here to discuss my 7-day detox from methadone, which was almost completely painless. And this is my third time I've been on methadone. The first time I cold turkeyed off 120, and it was wretched. The second time I cold turkeyed off 40, and it was exactly as bad as it was when I cold turkeyed off 120. So this time I was going to make sure I tapered down. Although people kept saying and I kept reading, there's no difference jumping off at 5 than there is at 25. It's going to be just as bad. You're going to get just as sick. Well, that might be true, but I wouldn't know it because I didn't go through it. Because I studied and I got the proper vitamins and the proper prescriptions from my doctor that made the detox seem almost effortlessly. A methadone detox usually starts within 30 minutes after your last dose. The symptoms can last 3 to 4 weeks, although I have heard people complain 9 months later that they're still having symptoms. These are the people I refer to as all in your head. A lot of it is mental. The symptoms, if you haven't gone through them before, are huge lists of symptoms, which start off and include agitation, mood swings, snapping at people, anxiety, panic attacks, paranoia, muscle aches, pain, especially in the joints, watery eyes, insomnia, runny nose and sneezing, yawning excessively is a withdrawal symptom, cravings, restlessness, abdominal cramping, diarrhea, dilated pupils, goosebumps with that creepy crawly feeling on your skin that you can't stand, hot and cold sweats, some even run a fever, nauseousness and vomiting, dehydration, restless leg syndrome, as well as restless arm syndrome, restless back syndrome, restless whole body syndrome. You can get it. Lightheadedness, shaking or tremors, rapid heartbeat, elevated blood pressure, suicidal thoughts, depression, insomnia, and I'm not talking about Green Day, excessive fatigue to the point where you are so tired that you can't even open your eyelids. You just lay there with your eyelids closed, which then the lack of sleep causes sleep deprivation, which then leads to sleep delirium, where you have possibly hallucinations of things that aren't there or hear things that aren't said. Uh, the best thing to do is when you're in a situation, if you live with other people, is to let them know, hey, I'm going through this detox. These are the things that are part of the detox. They're not me. They don't take it personal, but it could it could get bad. What I did was I prepared my household members for the worst while I prayed for the best. I prepared for the hurricane just in case it came, even though it turned out just to be a spring shower. You also have extreme sensitivity to smells. Well, I don't really know either way. When I quit taking methadone this time, I quit smoking cigarettes, so everything smelled better to me. So it could be a combination of the both. Now, the medicines that I used after I already tapered down to 4 milligrams, I I went to my primary care physician for the prescriptions, and I went to the store for the vitamins. The vitamins that you will need: B12, magnesium, potassium, and especially if you're a female, iron. So that would be 4. Now, I have a multivitamin that I used that had the magnesium in it and the potassium. But my doctor actually wrote me a second prescription for even more potassium, and I ended up buying an over-the-counter iron supplement because there was no iron in my multivitamin. Another homeopathic vitamin kind of thing that people talk about when they go through restless leg syndrome and withdrawal is called Hylands, Hylands, Hylands restless legs. They dissolve under your tongue. Apparently, they take away the sensations of having to jerk and move your arms. You can't, or legs, arms in my case, but mostly it's legs. You can't hold them still. They feel like they're crawling and they're jerking. The Highlands restless legs did nothing for me. And oddly enough, if you have restless legs, restless arms, restless back, whatever it is that you can't stop moving, can't stop twitching it, if you stand up, it stops. If you sit down or lay down, it starts again. So sometimes, yeah, I did have to stand up and shuffle back and forth across the floor a little bit while I was waiting for the medication that I got by prescription to kick in and take away the restlessness. Imodium AD, you're going to want that for the diarrhea unless you plan on putting Vaseline on your backside for the next 2 weeks. And yeah, I don't even really want to go there. Not sure where you're listening from, if it's legal, illegal, I'm not sure, but pot, weed, you know, smoke, that helped so much. It even the fact that I was able to just cat nap for an hour in between here and there. Those little cat naps for an hour, those help more than you'll know. Because once it gets to the point where you can't sleep, you're not so sick that you can't sleep, you're just wide awake. You become delirious. You have sleep delirium. You're not yourself. You're doing crazy things. It's good to be around a support system because it can get kind of wild in your head. A lot of it is mental because most of the vitamins in the prescriptions took the physical withdrawal away. Not a candidate for Suboxone because I'm allergic to buprenorphine, so I was unable to go that route. But smoking weed, little herb, that did help me get through. And another thing, for some reason, and I'm not sure why, someone told me it was the lactose, but milkshakes and ice cream. I think I ate them every day through the whole first week of the detox because staying, you know, with food in your body will help you heal faster. Try to eat at least some protein every day, some type of meat. Make sure you're getting enough to drink, not just water, Gatorade. Gatorade will replenish your electrolytes. If you don't like Gatorade, go down the baby supply aisle and get Pedialyte for infants. It has electrolytes in it. That would be a great idea. The other thing is, I got melatonin, which most know helps you sleep, but when the melatonin kicks in, you need to lay down because if you stay up through it, like you won't even want to get to sleep. It's like you're a walking zombie after taking the rest of the medications that they prescribe as well. But it was still pain free. Bear with me a moment. I'm just making sure I didn't leave anything out. Oh, The reason I take melatonin is because I'm allergic to antihistamines. How ironic is that? It's like I'm allergic to allergy medicine. So if you want, you can actually take both because one's herbal and one's the antihistamine of whichever choice that you choose. If antihistamines tend to make you drowsy and help you relax and sleep. Now, these are the prescriptions that I had to have written. Because of the headaches, I get chronic headaches when I go through withdrawal. I get a prescription for Fiorcet, Fiorcet, I believe. They also have one called Sumatrapan. I like the Fiorcet better because it has a barbiturate in it. Not because I want to hurry up and get high. It doesn't really get you high, but it helps with the restless legs. It helps relax. It helps the headaches. It really is a good medication. The other one, of course, a benzodiazepine. If you're not already on a benzodiazepine, I would suggest that you recommend to your doctor that you have a small amount of benzodiazepines, at least a month's worth, to help you get through. Gabapentin. Gabapentin is the same thing as Neurontin. They usually give it to patients with seizures, but it's also a restless leg syndrome medicine. It also helps with anxiety, panic, and helps you sleep. So that was a godsend. And the gabapentin, oddly enough, stopped the creepy crawly skin feeling. I quit getting hot and cold sweats and didn't get that creepy crawly skin feeling that I normally would have gotten. Gosh, I can't even read my own handwriting. How sad is that? Oh, ibuprofen 800. I got a prescription for ibuprofen 800 just because obviously, muscle aches, muscle pains, things like that. It's always good to have around anyway. And because of the depression, it's good to get on an antidepressant. I'm already on one. I've been on one, so I continue to take that throughout my treatment. If you are not on one, you are probably going to need to be on one because your brain has stopped creating its own endorphins and has been getting the endorphins through your medication. When you stop your medication, the endorphins stop and the production of serotonin stops and you become severely depressed. And that can lead to a relapse. So I highly suggest an antidepressant medication. Clonidine, another great one, is a blood pressure pill. Keeps your blood pressure low, keeps your heart rate low so you can rest. And just for the added kick and excitement of it, if you're a smoker, it will curb your sensation to smoking. So I was able to quit smoking when I quit the methadone program. Phenergan, that is what I use for vomiting. They will try to push Zofran on you. Do not take it. Tell them you are allergic to Zofran or tell them you have a bad reaction to it. It does cause heart palpitations and can keep you awake at night. This is why I hate it. It's never taken away my nauseousness. My heart beats 1,000 times a minute and I can't sleep. On the other hand, the Phenergan has a sedative in it, so it's very relaxing, but it takes away vomiting. And almost in most of 7 weeks I was using all this medication, completely took away my nauseousness. I had an appetite. I was able to eat pretty much every day of the 7-day detox. The other thing is, for the first 5 days, I used an opioid medication. Methadone withdrawals peak on day 3, 4, and 5. I don't know what I would have done without the opioid medication. Since methadone is a synthetic opioid, I have not had a natural opioid in my system that entire time I've been on methadone. So I may be physically addicted to the methadone, but I'm not physically addicted to the opioid medicine that is a natural opioid. The first 3 days, I took 30 milligrams of morphine. Then the next 2 days, I took hydrocodone 3 times a day. And on the 6th day, I didn't take anything. That night, I had some restless legs that I did take the gabapentin for, and it helped, but they did not completely go away. It moved into my arms. So I just went for a little walk around the house, stretching my arms out. And the number one thing that takes away restless arms, restless legs, restless back, restless neck, whatever it is you may have, is a hot shower. Get in the shower, stay in at least 20 minutes, steam it up as hot as you can, and then when you get out, try to lay down and go to sleep. Because then the restless leg syndrome or restless arm syndrome will stop. I'm telling you though, when I woke up on the second, sorry, it's not second, seventh. When I woke up on the 7th day, I still sat there for a week waiting for all this bad stuff to happen, waiting for the big throwing up for 5 days, can't move, shaking, dying feeling. I woke up on day 7 and I felt completely different. It felt like a demon had left my body. I even spoke out loud to myself and just said, it's over. It's over. So now, as I look at my watch, day number 10, even though I took a 3 week off leave for work, I really could go back right now. I don't have any pain. I don't have any nauseousness. I have absolutely no withdrawal symptoms at all and barely experienced any withdrawal symptoms during that entire week by using these medications as directed. I am not a doctor. I am not a nurse. I'm not affiliated with any pharmaceutical company in any way. I am not a scientist. I am just one of you. And this was my method. And this was what worked for me. And I hope that you will find a method that will work for you so that you can have the most painless, easiest withdrawal as possible. And keep in mind that withdrawal is just the beginning. Staying sober is the hard part. Love you guys. God bless.